What's notable is some of the analysts, for example, Jefferies, pointing out that most importantly, you are continuing to take share via consolidation. Who do you take that share from? How do you take it?
Well, thank you very much for having me in the show, Caroline and Ed. Look, cybersecurity is a very fragmented industry. Even despite being the largest player, we're only about 3 to 4% of the market. So the entire industry is full of many, many, many small players. And part of the opportunity, which we have alighted upon and have been working really hard over the last 6 years, is to try and consolidate our customers' portfolio to a simple platform that allows them to consolidate a lot of the vendors they have, and thereby getting them better security and a lower cost to operate. And that's kind of what ends up happening for us, where we take share from a lot of small players who, to be honest, it's time for the market to start consolidating anyway.
Herein speaks platformization, as you call it, and basically seeing a sequential increase there. But how much, dare I say, were you taking some market from a rather bigger player as people lost faith in a CrowdStrike, for example, post-outage?
Well, look, a lot of our platformization, I'm trying to get in with Riz this year, so let's see if you can get there. But the part of what we're trying to do with platformization is that we're actually trying to give the customers the ability to consolidate a set of activities they do across their cybersecurity landscape. Now, we're seeing share from businesses which have been around for 15 or 17 years, effectively sold legacy technology, which the customers are replacing with us. We're seeing share consolidating from smaller players. We're seeing some share from competition. But the outage is a different matter, and we can talk about that. But that's not the primary reason for us getting share in the market. It's just lower cost of operation and basically great security outcomes.
Nikesh, you know me. I just want to get the basics.
Yes.
Some specific new customers were won as a result of what happened with CrowdStrike in the quarter. You specifically signed some deals because of what happened?
Look, the CrowdStrike outage, which was very widespread, caused many of our customers to ask, why can it not happen to Palo Alto? And we were very quick to respond because we run it fundamentally differently than the way some of our competitors do. And that gave our customers comfort. So while we were in mid-flight, they were reassured by the fact that we do it differently and it's unlikely to happen to us. So obviously, we got business from those customers who were in the midst of an RFP trying to decide whether they should go with us or somebody else. So I think that was helpful. I think customers are more willing to give us consideration now because they feel like we have a very good product in the market and they don't have to go only with one vendor in that particular category. So it's good.
Nikesh, RPOs, remaining performance obligations, it's something that we actually discussed in a number of theaters. ServiceNow, for example. You've stated that you prefer that as a measure, and you guys know, because you do the time with them, some of the sell side are not as optimistic that it's a good measure of performance. Why are you sticking with it?
Look, Ed, the sell side adapts to finally what companies tell them and how companies measure their business. What is important for us to go out and execute on our platformization strategy and make sure we give the market the right metrics to understand our business. And really, there are two things that you should worry about, companies. One, what are they doing in the short term to make sure we're able to pay our bills, make sure we're able to deliver on a regular and consistent basis. In a short term, we think the best measure of our business is revenue and spend. Are we getting enough revenue? Are we spending just enough to be able to deliver immense amounts of profitability and free cash flow? And the long term, you're trying to make sure that we have a large contracted book of business so we're not chasing things on the last minute. And the RPO is a very good indicator of the long-term contracted business that you have to deliver, and it's going to show up as revenue. So as long as you keep growing that long-term business rapidly, your customers, your shareholders should know that there's a lot of business we're going to deliver and service, so our revenues are going to be robust and allowing us to deliver great profitability and free cash flows. As simple as that.
Within that simplicity of profitability and revenue, how much can you break out what AI and the adoption there is really driving your business for us?
Yeah, we're very excited about our AI capabilities and portfolios. Look, we took it early. We went ahead and went to the drawing board and say, what's going to happen when customers want to use AI? I'll tell you right now, it's fair to say almost 20% of almost every company's employees are experimenting with some sort of AI application. And the companies have no idea what these people are using. They have no idea how to control their usage of AI. They have no idea what kind of data is being uploaded to all these AI applications, which are going to use that data to train themselves to get better. So we have gone out and launched a series of products that allow you to monitor how AI is being used to make sure your data does not get out there and train models if you don't want it to, give you some visibility as to what's happening. At the same time, if you're trying to deploy an AI application, we have capability to give you a ring-fence security around your AI applications to give you an AI firewall. So that, coupled with the fact that we've infused AI into many of our products has allowed us to deliver $200 million of ARR so far in the category of AI security, which we think is an industry first and really gives us comfort that this thing's going to do well for us.
Just give us the bird's eye perspective, though, because the whole market is grappling with the idea of whether the amount of money going into AI in terms of infrastructure is a long-term return that they're going to be getting from. Do you think there's hype within AI adoption, or do you see that actually the level of adoption from yours is showing that this is real?
Well, Caroline, I was an internet analyst in the late 90s, and I remember the hype that we saw with the internet, and everything went up and to the right very quickly. Look forward, 25 years later, everything was real. I think so. The question is not whether it's real. The question is what's the timing of it, and how do you invest in a manner that is consistent with the timing of return. So from our perspective, yes, we expect that there will be widespread usage of AI. We think AI will fundamentally change how we all conduct business. The question is, what is the timing of it? And the problem is you can't go ahead and execute on it if you don't build the infrastructure. So I think, yes, we have to have infrastructure. Now, whether it's the right amount of infrastructure being built at this point in time or not, I'm no one to comment. But I do believe that there's going to be phenomenal amount of consumption, deployment of AI, and we're going to be talking AI for a very long time.